heaven on earth, that the saints and the sages describe it. Is it in their minds or is it really here? Should we look for it? Well, our minds create our reality. That which I'm seeing right now is a product of my own mind. When Puja Swamiji was very young in the jungles, he tells this story frequently of a saint who told him, "Bolo jivan kaisa jaisa banalo वैसा है, चाहे इसको स्वर्ग बना लो, चाहे इसको नरक बना लो." It's up to you. So, am I going to live in heaven or hell? It is up to me. It is a product of how I think. That which makes paradise or Shangri-La is not about which flowers blossom. There's lots of people all over the world with beautiful gardens who are miserable. There's no direct connection to the number of flowers blooming in your front yard and your mental state. Take a trip through America, take a trip through Europe, take a trip through so many parts of the world where people have huge gardens. India, huge gardens, lots of flowers, and they're miserable. So, certain species of flowers do not create paradise. The paradise exists in our experience, but then it also exists in reality in the world that we live in. There's a beautiful story of a sage who was sitting on a path in the jungles, and a young boy was sitting with him. And a man walked by and he says to the sage, "Tell me about the village up ahead." And the sage says, "Well, where are you coming from?" And the man says, "Oh, I'm coming from such and such a village, and it was horrible. The people were liars and cheaters and thieves." And the sage said, "I'm so sorry to tell you this, but the village up ahead is actually exactly the same." So although the man keeps walking, there's only one road, only one way to go. And a short while later, another man comes by and says, "Tell me about the village up ahead." And the sage says, "Where are you coming from?" And he says, "Oh, I'm coming from this village that was so beautiful. The people were full of such love and generosity, caring." And the sage said, "Great news. The village up ahead is exactly the same." Now the young boy sitting with him says, "Babaji, ye kaise ho sakte hain? Ek hi village hai. There's only one village up ahead. How can it possibly be full of people who are liars and cheaters, thieves, and people who are loving and generous and kind?" And the sage says, "Because what each of these men sees is what they will keep seeing wherever they go. So the first man will see liars and thieves and cheats. The second man will see beautiful people. And so what the saints and the sages and the rishis have experienced is that paradise inside that enables them wherever they are, whomever they are with, to experience that. They carry the fragrance with them. It's not about what's blossoming in the field in front of me. They actually carry the fragrance with them. So naturally, wherever they go, it's heavenly fragrance. So can we find it? Yes. But not on a map. You know, in psychology, one of the things that we talk about is something called pulling a location. And it's It's slang for what it means is, oh, you're miserable, you're depressed, and you decide, I'm going to go to Tahiti. Everything will be better. If I were just on a beach in Tahiti, everything would be okay. But of course, the same you who's miserable and depressed is the same you who's sitting on the beach in Tahiti. And so what you find is that misery and that depression stays with you. Because wherever you go, there you are. And so it's not about finding the most beautiful place, because you will carry your misery along with your underpants and toothbrush along with you. And if what you have found is peace and joy and love and fragrance in your life, you will carry that. So that Shangri-La, that paradise, that heaven on earth, it exists within us. And then, it's everywhere we go.